In this video, we are going to learn how to create a contact page like this one, as you see over here. A contact page that have contact details of your business, and then also a contact form over here where users can be able to fill in their name, their address, their phone number, and then type in any message that they want and send it to you, and you will receive it inside your email. And then also we can be able to display our business location on a map over here, just like this, as you see over here. So if you are interested in it, let's get started. Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Kobe and this is Kaetech Digital. If you are new over here, please don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel. Over here we learn WordPress tricks and tips, and then we also learn how to create websites using WordPress. So if you are ready, let's get started. Now guys, to be able to create this contact page, as you see over here, what we are going to do is we're going to use what we call Elementor and then also a form builder for us to be able to create this particular contact page. Now we are using Elementor free free plugin over here, not Elementor Pro. We are using the free plugin, but if you need Elementor Pro, I'll leave a link in the description for you to be able to get Elementor Pro. Now I have a website over here where we started building the cleaning website on our last or previous video that we did. This is the website, as you see over here. It doesn't have any contact page. The page is empty, as you can see, but we're going to create this particular one on this place, as you see over here. So let's get started. Now we're going to go over here and then go to pages over here, go to all pages, and then we will design the page that we've already created. So we have already created a page called contact over here. We're going to click on edit, and then we will change the template over here to Elementor full width. So we're going to change the template over here to Elementor full width, and then we'll click on save over here. All right, so now that we've clicked on save, now it is time for us to design the page, as you see, with Elementor. So you see this blue button over here which says edit with Elementor. We click on it to be able to help us edit this page with Elementor. All right, so if you are new with Elementor, it's just a drag and drop page builder whereby you will be able to drag widgets from here to this place and then use it to be able to create the page that you want. Of course, you can use it to create your full website from header to footer to the body of the website. Now let's get started. So what we are doing is we are creating this page that you see over here. Now if you look at this page has a background image and an overlay over here, a color overlay over here, and then we also have this left side with some details over here, and then we also have the right side which has the form and then some other details also over here, or header and then some other details over here. So that is exactly what we're going to do. So we're going to go over here and then create a container. So we're going to create a Flexbox container. So we pick we can either pick this one. So let's pick this particular Flexbox container over here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to click over here, go to it advanced over here, and then unlink the padding over here, and then I'm going to give it 80 padding at the top and 80 padding at the bottom over here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come, let's look at this one over here. So as you can see, we have this and then we have that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and then go to layout over here, scroll down, and I'll give a gap. Okay, so I want space between this container and that container also. So I'll give a gap of 40 over here, and then 40 also at the row. So it's going to be something like this, meaning that there is a gap over here. Right now let's look at this one. So over here at the background we have an image over there, and then we also have a background overlay. So let's go ahead and then go to style over here and give it an image. So we're going to background type, we say classic, and then the classic we can choose a color or image, but we're going to choose an image. So we click on it, and then we can choose any of the images over here and use it for our website. I'm going to choose this particular image, and then I'm going to just select it over here. So now I have this image over here, and as you can see, you can check the resolution of the image. You can also check the position. So the position, I'm going to make it center, and then the attachment, I would say maybe I'll put it at default. And then also the repeat, I'm going to say repeat, and then the default size, I will say cover. Now let's go over here and see how this one. So the attachment is a fixed attachment, because if you scroll, the image become fixed over there. Now let's go over here and then change the attachment from default to fixed over here, so that when we scroll, the image is fixed. It doesn't move with the container. Okay, and that is it. So now that we have this one, now we go to background overlay over here, and let's click on background overlay, and then the background type, we're going to choose classic as usual. And then this time around, we are not choosing image, we are choosing color. So I'm going to pick a global color that I have been using for this particular website. For those of you who started with me from the previous video, you know that we have our color set already. So I'm going to just use this color and then change this one to like 85 or maybe a 90. So I'm going to use 0.9 over here. All right, so now that we have this one, now I'm going to go over here, click on this plus inside this one, or click on the plus on top over here. Then what I would do is I'm going to drag in a heading widget inside this one. So if you look at this one says what connect with us. So I'm going to copy this one, come over here, and then put it over here and say connect with us. Now go to style of it, change the typography. I'm going to change it to maybe Open Sans, because that is basically what I've been using throughout. So I'll make it Open Sans. Now let's see what this one says. This is capital. Okay, so over here I'll choose maybe 20 or maybe 22, and then the transform, I'm going to change it to uppercase. And then yeah, I think that is it. Now I'll come to the text color over here, and I'll change it to white. So it's going to be something like this. Now when I come over here, we have this particular one over here. Now this one physically is using some other if you go over here and then you go to the home page, we have some plugin that we've installed to be using this heading, as you can see over here. Okay, now of course we should have started it, but I'm just concerned about those who are using just Elementor free version without any other plugin installed. Because if you go over here and you go to plugins over here, you're going to see that we have this element kit installed, and this element kit also brings us this particular heading that we are looking for. So if I click over here and I search for maybe heading, okay, you see that I'm going to have this heading. I'm going to also have this heading, and this is the heading that this particular website is using over here. So if I decide to drag this heading over here, it's going to be something let me drag it over here. All right, so you're going to see that it's going to be something like this. Now first of all, I want to drag it inside this container rather than, I don't know why it's not going inside, but I'm going to copy this one and then just paste it over here. So it's going to be inside this container, and then I'll just delete this one. So you see, this is the heading that this particular one is using. Now let's style this heading. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete this one. So let me just delete this one, and then try and then use the normal Elementor to do this heading. But you see that we can't have this hover animation over here. Okay, because if we duplicate this one, let's duplicate this one and then change this one to the booking. Okay, so this one is what the booking or book cleaning appointment. So if I go over here and I put this one over here, and let me just delete this one, it's going to be something like this, book cleaning appointment. If I go over here, I can increase this one and make it like maybe 45 over here, and change this one to Poppins. Okay, I'm going to change this one to Poppins, and then change this one from uppercase to default. Now let me just reduce this one to maybe 35. Yeah, so something like this. Now I can have it like this, and then even add a divider over here. So I can go ahead and come over here and then add a divider. I can drag in a divider over here, and I have a divider. I can just make it like 25 or something. Okay, let me make it 25%. Go over here, change the color to this particular color, come over here and then change the weight to maybe 2, okay, if you like, or maybe let's say 4 and see. Okay, so change the weight to 4 and then reduce the gap over here. So we're gonna have something like this. The only thing is we won't have this hover animation over here. If you want to have a hover animation, it's going to affect all the other how do you call it, all from booking cleaning appointment, from booking to cleaning appointment. So if you come to hover, we can choose a hover animation for it, and if I hover, I'm supposed to have this kind of hover thing. Okay, so let me see, this is normal, this is the hover. All right, so I don't know why it's not working, but let's publish over here and then go to view it on the front end. So it's still not working, but it's supposed to work because this is the text color and this is the hover color. Okay, let's try and see. Let me just try and see if the hover still is not working, and this is the heading, right? So I don't know why it's not working, but it's supposed to work. Okay, so let me just change the transition and see. It still doesn't work, right? It still doesn't work, which I don't really understand, because it's supposed to work. Everything is supposed to work over here. All right, so let's just try and forget about it since it's not working. Let's just leave it as it is. But that is how the hover effect really happen. Let me just go over here and see if this thing also can have a hover effect if I hover on it. This one also really doesn't work, and I don't understand why it's not working. Let me just clear this one, and let me just publish this one and refresh the whole website itself. So I'm gonna go back again and see if the hover still doesn't work. So over here we still have the hover effect for this heading, but it still doesn't work over here. Okay, so I don't know why it's not working, but it was supposed to work, and it's supposed to work. So since it's not working, we are not really concerned about that, but the idea is for us to be able to create something similar as you see over here. Okay, and I'll show you how we can be able to achieve this one if the other one doesn't work. So now that we have this one done, now it's for us to bring some text over here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and then bring a text widget over here. So we're going to bring a text widget underneath over here, and then we can just copy this one, come over here and paste it over here. Okay, so you can have something like this. Come over here and then just change this one to white, and you're gonna have something like this. So now we have this one. So the next one is for us to have this widget also over here, the phone also over here. So what we do is we click on this add element over here, and then what we're going to do is we're going to add search for box. Okay, so we're going to search for what we call icon box over here. Drag the icon box just underneath this one, and then what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and then over here we have phone over here. So we copy this one and come and paste it on the at the heading over here, and then when you come over here we have this number also over here. So we can copy this one, come over here and then paste it over here. So we have something like this, but that is not what we want. We want to go over here, and then we also can change this one. Okay, so we're going to change the icon over here and then look for maybe phone. Okay, so what is the phone that we are using? This particular phone over here. So we're going to use this one and set it over here. So this is it. So we go to style over here, and this time around we're going to change this one to left so we can have something similar like this. Now we can either increase the the icon over here, change its color to the color that we want, and then increase the size Okay, so we can just go ahead and increase the size. Go to the the font, also change it typography to maybe Poppins. Okay, choose this one, and then just choose anything that you want to choose for it. So this is fun, and then we go over here, we change the color to white. Now let's go to description. Also, we're gonna come over here, change it to open sans, because that is exactly what we are using for our description. And then we can use bigger number, maybe like 35, or maybe 25, something like that. Okay, so and then we change this one also to white. All right, so now we have something similar to this one. Now let's go to the icon itself, or the box itself, and then we can either space it or decide not to space it. The alignment, we can put it in the middle like this, so that everything will be fine. You see that this one, when we hover, it hovers, because when we go over here and we see the content, the text hover over here, the text, this is the normal and this is the hover. So we can change it also to white, so that it doesn't really hover. Okay, there is no hover here. So I don't understand why this one wasn't working, but this one, the idea works perfectly over here. So now we have something similar to what we have over here, and then we can decide to even increase this to maybe 600, so that it will be a little bit kind of like bigger. And then we can even decide to just increase the letter spacing over here. Okay, so something like this. Now over here we are going to add what we call the form. Okay, so before we do that, I want to position this whole thing in the middle. So I'm going to go over here and then go to justify over here, and then center everything in the middle like this, right? And then over here also we can decide to reduce the spacing over here. But let me go over here, and then I'm going to remove the margin, the top margin, and give it a negative 20 over here. And then also the bottom margin, I also give it a negative 20. So it will be something like this. All right, so like I was saying, we can use this style also to be able to create what we created by, if you have element kit light installed. So make sure that you install this element kit, and I'm going to show you now. To also do that, I'm just going to show you how quickly we can do it. So search for heading over here. So just go and search for heading. This is the heading that we're going to use. Just drag it over here. So I'm going to put it over here, so you will know. So this is the heading that we're going to use. Now over here we will just put our book over there. So we say book. Okay, and then inside where there is report, we're going to change it to cleaning appointment. Okay, so cleaning appointment. Now we can go to subtitle over here, and then instead of show subtitle, which is off, we can say it should be on. Okay, and then the subtitle, we want to show it before the title, right? So it's gonna be like this, and then over here we'll just type in connect with us, right? So we have something like this. All right, so the title description also, we can go over there and then show the title description. Okay, so over here we can just copy this text over here. You can just copy this text over here, come over here, and then where is it? Yes, show description, and then over here we'll paste the description over here. So you see the idea is becoming something like this over here, but we can go further. Let's go to separator over here. Now if you look at the separator over here and you look at this separator, is different. So the separator style will go just solid. Okay, and you see we have similar one over here. Now let's go to the style over here, and then we can change the from title to focus to subtitle. I'm going to go first to subtitle, and then over here I'm going to change it to white, and then here I can change this one to, let's say, Poppins. okay, and then come over here and change this one to, let's say, maybe 20. Okay, so depend on how you want it. So you can even reduce this one to something like this. So you see, you're gonna have something similar to what you have over there. Now we can go to the focus title also. With the focus title, as you see, the color should be let me just push it up first. The color should be white, and then the hover should be this color. So if you hover on it, you see it is behaving just like we have this one over here. And then also if you look at the is it the title itself, okay, the title itself, we also have the color should be white. So I'm going to also push this one up a little bit. The title should be white, and then the hover should also be white, so we don't have anything over there, right? And then if you have the typography over here, you can change the typography to any style that you want. So I'm going to make it poppins also. So I'll go to poppins and change this one to maybe 35. So it's going to be 35 over here. Make this one maybe 600. Okay, so it's okay. So then I'll go to the focus also. I'm going to change the typography to poppins. So I'm going to change it to poppins, and then make this one also 35, right? And then change this one to also 600. So they are all going to be the same size and the same style. Okay, so as you can see, this side. Now the last one, or the last but one, is the title description. Now with the title description, we're going to choose the white for it, and then you can select your typography, which is maybe Open Sans that we are using, and then you can choose your your font size that you are using. And then the separator also, we just have to change the color to this color. And as you can see, if we decide to hide this one, we can be able to use this particular one over here. So these are the difference. Okay, so if you don't have if you cannot do you don't have this particular plugin installed, you can be able to use what I did. So if I choose to delete this one, just delete this one and delete this, come over here and delete this, then we are using this particular one over here. So over here, the separator over here, we can play around with it. Okay, so the width, the height, and all those kind of stuff. If you come over here also with the separator over here, you can also play around it. Okay, if you go to the title also, the style, and you go to the title also, you can also play around it. So over here, we can unlink the padding over here, and as you can see, we can give it bottom padding or whatever it is that we want to give it. So if you give it maybe a 10, it's going to be like this, but let's give it like a 5 or so, so it's going to be like this. Now if you come to the description also, we can also unlink this padding and give it a top of maybe 20, so it will push down a little bit. So this is how it's going to work. It's going to be like. Okay, now let's go to the other side. Let's click on publish and go to the other side. Now with the other side, we're going to put some header and then some other stuff over here. We're going to put some send as a message, and then we're going to put this also over here. So what we do is we just copy this one. I'm going to copy this one and then come over here and then drag in this text widget over here, put this one over here, and then what I'll do is I'll just style it anyhow I want it. So with this one, I can give it maybe a 35, and then change this one to maybe poppins. Okay, so because we are using poppins for our headings, and then I'll come here and change this one, the color, to white. So I'll have this one, and then I also drag in a text widget also underneath this particular one over here, and then I will just copy this text and come and paste it inside this particular text. Now I'll come over here and change this one to Open Sans. Instead of Roboto, I'll change it to Open Sans, and then I'll come over here and then change this one to maybe 17, and then change the text color. I'll change the text color also to white. So it's gonna be like this. Now come here and then remove the padding on top and give it a negative, the margin on top and give it a negative margin, and it will be something like this. Now over here I'm gonna come over here and go to advanced, give it a padding of maybe 30, right? And then come to style over here, go to border, and then I'll give it a border radius, a border type of solid, and then I'll give it maybe a border of 1 and change the color to white. So something similar like this, and as you can see, this is how it looks like. Right now I'll bring in my I'll go and create my form and then bring it over there. So to be able to create a form, let me publish this one. I'll go back to my backend over here, and I have this form installed called Forminator. If you don't have it, install it. I have this one called Forminator. So I'm going to go over here and then use Forminator to create my forms. Okay, so I'll go to all forms over here. Now for those of you who was with me previously on the previous video whilst we were creating the cleaning website, you realize that we created this form over here. Okay, so we want to create a new one. So over here we click on add new, and then we select a pre-designed form already for us. So I'm going to select this contact form. So I'll click on create form, which have all the fields that I need. So the name, the email, the phone number, and then the message. And what I'll do is, let me see this one. So this is how it is. So I'm going to go over here and then click on appearance, and with appearance I'm going to leave it as this one. Oh, let me see. Okay, so with appearance, let me just choose maybe this one over here, or between this one and this one you can choose the one that you want. And then when I scroll down, I can come to customize colors over here, and then I can be able to change some of the colors that I don't want. So default it is black. Okay, so you have to make sure that you change all those colors. So I'm going to come to maybe field basics over here, and then the labels I'm going to make them white. So I'm going to make the labels white. So I'll make all labels white, and description also I'll make it white. And then I'll come to input also with the input and text area. So this is the border area over here. The border is just this border over here. Okay, so you can decide to choose anything that you want to any color that you want to use for the border. Okay, but with the border I'm going to leave it as it is. The background also I'm going to just make it white for the background color. And then the placeholders, if there is a placeholder, meaning that something inside here. Okay, so that is the placeholder. So the placeholder, I'll leave it as it is over here. And then the text color also, I'm going to leave it as it is and make it be default. And then with the button also, let's choose this particular color over here. So we're going to come over here, and then I'm going to select this color, icon color, this particular one, and then I'm going to copy it, come over here, and then the background I'm going to put this color over here, and then the text I'm going to make it white. Okay, so the text is not white, it is that kind of deep green color that we have. So we don't have that deep green over here, but of course you can choose the color over there. So let me just put this one over here, and I'm gonna go green just like this. Okay, so go up a little bit. All right, so something like this, and I think it's quite okay. Now let's go to behavior also, So if you want an inline message means that you can set a message where the form will just reload. When you send the form, it will show you this just on the front end to say that thank you for contacting us, we will contact you shortly. Or you can redirect the user to a different URL, or you can even hide the form after the user have submitted it. So I'm going to leave it as this one over here, and then when I scroll down, you can integrate PDF if you have the pro version. I can also go to where the emails will go. Okay, so you can set email address so that when the user submit a form, it will come to you over here. So you set the email addresses over here. So click over here, and then you see the recipient over here. This is the recipient email. So whoever is supposed to receive that particular email, and that is it. So after that, you can go to integrations, and if you don't have integrations, go to settings, do all your settings and other stuff, and then if everything is all right, just click on publish. All right, so you can copy it over here, come to the front end, and then click on this plus icon, look for what we call shortcode, drag the shortcode inside over here, and then what we can do is we can paste the shortcode over here, and as you can see, we have our form already inside it. So what we can do is we can just publish it, and we can go to the front end, refresh it, and now we have our form, as you can see over here. Okay, so this is our form, and this is how we wanted the form to be like. So basically it is similar to what we have over here. Okay, as simple as that. Now the next one for us to do is to bring our map also over here. So to bring our map, we're going to click on this particular plus icon, select the flexbox container, which is something like this. Go to the advance of this one, unlink all the padding, go to layout, change the content from box to full width. Okay, and then inside this place we're going to add a map. So search for map and then drag in the map over here. Now you can input any address over here, and then we'll populate over here. So let's say I'm looking for Kaetech digital, so I'm going to search for Kaetech digital, and I'll say maybe Accra, Ghana. And as you can see, it pulls out my address over here, and this is it with 30 reviews and then 5-star reviews, and that is it. So you can quickly adjust the height. So let's say you want to adjust the height to, like, let's say 400, you can do so over here, and then you can go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So with this height, I'm going to make it 500, and that is it. So now we have this one done as quickly as possible, and we can go over here and publish it. And then when we go to the front end, we can refresh it, and as you can see, this is our website having a contact page designed beautifully for us the way we want it. Now you have designed it on the desktop, so make sure that it is responsive on mobile and tablet, and this is what we're going to do. So we're going to go over here, click on the responsive tab over here, and you see how it behaves. So if it tends to tablet, this is how it's going to be. If it goes to mobile, this is how it's going to be. It is not responsive, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to make it responsive. So over here, what we are going to do is we're going to click over here, and then we will change the direction. Okay, so if the direction is like this, now we're going to change it to be like this, and then over here we're going to change this one from 50% to 100%. Okay, and then this one also we're going to change it from 50% to 100%. So it's going to be like this, and then on the main container we go to it advanced, unlink the margin over here, and then give the top 40, give the bottom also 40, and then give the side by side 20. So we can give over here 20, and we can also give over here 20. Okay, and it's going to be something like this. Now if you feel this is not good for you, of course you can come over here and then change the minimum height and all those kind of stuff. Now over here, if you feel it is too big for you and you don't want it that way, you can still adjust it the way you want it. So you come over here and then you can reduce the content this way. You can reduce it this way. So this is what, so let's put it like an 80. Okay, and put this one also 80, right? 80. So it's gonna be something like this, and we come over here, we go to advanced, and then we give this one also 80. We give the bottom also 80. So now it looks perfectly responsive over here, right? Now let's go over here. This one is automatically responsive, so we don't have nothing to do with it. Now let's come to here, and over here we can also adjust it the way we want it. So what I want to do is I want to remove the padding from here. I'm going to remove all padding, and then I'll click on this pen icon to adjust things over here. So I'll go into my style of the heading over here, and then with the title, and then when I come to the the title heading over here, I can change it to maybe 25. Okay, so 25 is okay. And then when I go to the focus title, which is this one, I can also change it to 25. So it's also become something like this, right? And then with the subtitle over here, it was 20. I can change it to like 16 or even 14, okay, depending on how I want it. So now that I've changed this one to 14, I want all of them to be on a straight line. So I can still go to the title over here, and then go to, let me go to here, and then change this one to 20. And then let's go over here to the focus title, also go to typography, change this one also to 20. And let's see, so now we have something like this. Now let's go to the description over here. We want to change this one to 14. Okay, so it's going to be something also like this. Now with this phone, we will change the size to this way, and then we're going to reduce the icon size. So we reduce the size to something like this, maybe 35. Okay, go to its content, the title over here, instead of 35 we're going to say 25, and then come to the description, instead of 25 we'll say maybe 16. Okay, and then we go to the icon, the box again, and we can put it anywhere we want it. It's not coming in the middle. Okay, so basically I think this is quite okay, because I wanted it to be in the middle. This one should be in the middle, but it's not really coming in the middle unless we reduce the size of the content over here. So let me increase this one to, like, let's say 40, and see. So this is 40, and then let me come to the content over here, reduce this one to maybe 20, and then also come over here, and then I want to change this one to 0, like this, or maybe 2. It's okay. And then let's see the line height, we will just reduce it like this. Okay, so guys, as you can see, now this one looks also perfect. Now let's come over here, and with this one I'm going to come over here, and instead of 15 I'm going to make it, instead of 30 I'm going to make it 15, and then the send as, I'm going to change it to 20, and then over here I'll change this message to, or this text to 14. Okay, so it will be something like this, which is quite responsive, and then I can publish it. So if I go over here, refresh the website, we're still going to have the same as it looks on, on the desktop. But if you go to the mobile view, it's going to be what we set out for. So as you can see, it is now responsive on mobile. And if you go to tablet also, let's quickly go to tablet. So let's look at the iPad 4. This is how it's going to be like, very, very nice and responsive. All right, so guys, as you can see, we have easily created a contact page very, very easily in some few minutes using Elementor and then some few other plugins. And that is how you can be able to quickly create a contact page with Elementor, Forminator, and then also Element Kit by Element Kit Lite. Okay, and that is it. So thank you for watching this video. See you in the next video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. If you haven't liked this video, please like the video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.